Okay, so step number 3 in the analysis of internet beams using flexibility matrix method. After, if you determine degree of static indeterminacy, next step is to draw release structure and unit load figures. Now, what is the release structure means? Release structure means once you calculate the degree of static indeterminacy, if you calculate degree of static indeterminacy of this beam is 2. Okay. Now we know that this 2 means what? These are the additional reactions in the beam which makes this beam indeterminate. So if you eliminate these 2 additional reactions, your beam will become again determinate beam. So we have to eliminate 2 additional reactions from the given beam structure. Now how to eliminate the additional reactions? Additional reactions means we have to either replace the support or remove the support to make it statically determinate. So if you observe the beam, if one end of the beam is fixed, there are 2 reactions. So if one end of the beam is fixed, it is always better to remove the remaining all supports to make the given beam statically determinate. So statically determinate beam is called as a release structure. So if you draw this beam again, as it is loading is as it is, only what we have done? We have removed this roller support at B and roller support at C we have removed. Since we have removed these 2 roller support, now number of unknown reactions in the beam are RA and MA only. Now it means there are 2 reactions and we have 2 equations of equilibrium. It means this beam, DSI of this beam is 0. So this is called as release structure. Release structure. It means we have released 2 reactions from the given indeterminate beam. Okay. Now since we have removed support B and support C, that is RB reaction and RC reaction, those becomes our final unknown redundants. RB and RC. Okay. So now once you draw the release structure, next step is to draw the unit load figures. Unit load figures means now in the release structure, remove all external load and apply unit load one by one. At which point? At a point where your RB and RC are active. That is reaction at B and reaction at C. So first figure will be RB equal to 1. Apply unit load at point B. Apply unit load at point B, and second figure will be unit load figure will be applied unit load at point C. So these 2 figures, first is RB equal to 1, then RC equal to 1. These 2 figures are called as unit load figures. So this is after determining the degree of static indeterminacy of the original structure. Now next step you have to draw the release structure depending on how many reactions you have to release. In this problem we have to release 2 reactions, and that's why we have removed these 2 roller supports. So this is now statically determinate beam, which is also called as release structure. Now in the release structure, remove all external load and apply unit load at point B first, that is RB equal to 1, and then unit load at the point C, that is RC equal to 1. These two figures are called as unit load figures. Okay. Now once you draw this, the next is we have to apply the compatibility condition. Now, what is compatibility condition? Compatibility condition is dq is equal to dql plus f into q. Okay, all are matrices. This is a vector, column vector. This is also column vector. F is a square matrix and Q again column vector. Okay, so this is compatibility condition. Now one by one we have to find out all matrices to get your final answers. Final unknowns are RB and RC. So now what is dq is equal to? dq is equal to displacements corresponding to unknown reactions in the original structure. Displacement corresponding to unknown reaction. Unknown reactions are RB. So corresponding displacement is delta B. Second unknown is RC. Corresponding displacement is delta C. It means now, is there any delta B or delta C given in the original structure? That is nothing but dq. dq is displacement corresponding to unknown reactions. Unknown reactions are RB and RC. Corresponding displacements are delta B and delta C. So we have to see this statement and the given figure. If any vertical displacement at point be given in the original structure, vertical displacement is also called as sinking of support. So in short, if sinking of support is given, that sinking of support is nothing but vertical displacement. Okay. So if there is no sinking given, these elements become 0, 0. But if sinking of support is given, for example, if in the statement it is given, analyze the given beam using flexity matrix method if support B sink by 25 mm. Support B sink means sinking means vertically downward displacement. Downward means minus 25 mm. If our other dimensions are in meter, we have to convert that sinking also in meter. So if it is 25 mm, it will be 0.025 meter. 0.025 meter. So it means if sinking of support at point B is given, this vector will be like this. If sinking at support C is also given, that support C sink by 10 mm, then this will be 0.01. Okay. So remember, dq is equal to displacements corresponding to unknown reaction in the original structure. If your unknowns are reactions, corresponding displacements are vertical displacement, that is sinking. If sinking is given, consider that sinking is a downward displacement, so minus. If sinking is not given, it is 0, 0. But if your unknowns are moment, if your unknown is moment, corresponding displacement is rotation. If your unknown is moment, corresponding displacement is rotation. So we have to see that is there any rotation given in the original structure. Okay, so you please make a note of this. If unknowns are reactions, corresponding displacement are vertical displacement. If unknown is moment, corresponding displacement is rotation. So this is first vector, dq is equal to. Now dql is equal to again displacements corresponding to unknown reactions in the release structure. This release structure, we have to calculate delta B and delta C in the release structure. Of course, there is a calculation for that determining the delta B and delta C in the release structure. There are some integration formulas which we will discuss in the next part. So now dql, displacement corresponding to unknown reaction in the release structure. So delta B is the first element, that is displacement at point B, and displacement at point C is second element. Now how to calculate these dql elements? This is actually called as dql1 and this is dql2. So if you take dql subscript I is equal to either 1 or it is equal to 2. dql I is equal to 1 upon EI outside the integration over the limits, lower limit A, upper limit B, and it is capital M into mi into dx, right? This is the integration formula to calculate the dql elements, that is dql1 and dql2. dql1 is nothing but delta B, dql2 is nothing but delta C. Now if you want to calculate dql1, this I is equal to 1 means capital M into m1 dx. If you want to calculate dql2, 1 upon EI integration capital M into m2 dx. Like this you have to calculate elements of dql vector. Of course in detail we will solve a numerical example to understand this. This is second vector. Now third matrix is flexibility matrix. Which is a square matrix always. Order of this matrix is equal to total number of unknowns. If our unknowns are 2, RB and RC, if our unknowns are 2, size of flexibility matrix will be 2 by 2. 2 by 2 means there will be 4 elements. F11, F12, F21 and F22. There are 4 elements. But flexibility matrix is always symmetric matrix. It means these 2 elements are always the same because it is symmetric matrix. So we have to find out F11, F12 and F22 only because F21 equal to F12. Okay. Now to find out this flexibility matrix coefficients also there is an integral formula. Fij, I depend on this position 1 1 1 2 and 2 2. Fij equal to 1 upon EI integration A to B mi into mj dx. It means if you want to calculate F11 I equal to 1, j equal to 1, it becomes m1 into m1. If you want to calculate F12, it becomes m1 into m2. And if you want to calculate F22, it becomes m2 into m2. Okay? So like this we have to find out coefficients of flexibility matrix. So 3 vectors we have to calculate dq, dql and f. Last vector q stands for vector of unknowns. Unknowns are RB and RC. Okay? So like this we have to find out all the vectors. dq we will get from the original structure, dql we will get from release structure, and flexibility matrix we will get from unit role figures. This will gives you dq, this release structure will give you DQL, and these two unit load figures will give you flexibility matrix. Once you get all matrices, you have to put in this equation, compatibility condition, and find out your RB and RC. Once you get the RB and RC, next part is to find out remaining moments to plot the bending moment diagram. Okay, so this is brief procedure how to solve the example by using flexibility matrix method. In the next class, we will solve one numerical example to understand all these steps in detail. Okay, thank you.